Hello and welcome to the Tinkle podcast. And today we're doing something fun because I had a shower thought a couple weeks ago during Halloween about horror films, and that out of all the horror films, there's no other one, at least to my knowledge, that has the most retcons and makes a direct sequel other than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm Juan, and I'm joined here with my host.
Quentin. Not the most avid Texas Chainsaw Man. I've seen the original. I know that for.
Honestly, I think that's my second time watching the original.
I wouldn't be. Honestly, it's probably my second. It's always just the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, my history with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was I watched the remake as a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember that scaring me as a kid.
I think I also watched one. But
The one with the sheriff and...
I'm not entirely sure. I'll probably have the word. I will remember. But yeah, the original. Well, technically not the original.
Well, this is the original.
Technically not the original because of it. It's the 40th
anniversary of the original restored.
Yeah, so it's not letter.
Yeah, I noticed that watching. I was like, wait, how much are we missing on the screen? Because on those aspect ratios, there's the old ones when they blow it up, it says there's things cut out now on the screen.
There's multiple themes with aspects. There's fake aspect. True fits to your screen. Actually, certain. There's a whole. It's a video I'd have to send you, but there's this whole thing where based on what TV show you're watching, what aspect you have, it could cut entire character conversation.
I know that was a big complaint that I didn't notice about the Dragon Ball Z, the Blu-rays. That they say that it fits your screen, but there's parts you don't like. There's
Goku's talking to see the
something like that. Yeah, something like
some
that.
height difference. But I was kind of half surprised. Think about it. It's not even. This was a 20 movie.
This was in the 2014.
No, the 40th anniversary release.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I see what you mean.
So 6, 7, 8, add 8, 14. 48. 48 years. So 48 years ago. See, I was looking.
Oh, for some mess up there,
yeah,
there's the cameraman, or
especially because back then with how filmmaking, it's a little more lax, like mirrors, reflection, just in general, how the story flows. No one really gave a shit back then in the 80s, early 80s. So it was an interesting. I don't know. I also wanted to know because I feel like it might.
I'm not sure. I mean, what's your experience with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a series?
As a series,
did you watch it as a kid? Were you scared of it, or you have memories of it?
I'm pretty sure as a kid, it would just be around Halloween time. Fucking marathon.
Yeah.
Horror marathon. And for me, it was always it's gonna sound so weird. Cartoon Network. It would always be
Halloween themed episodes.
Yeah, no, Halloween themed episodes and Halloween themed movies. There's the one. It's stuck in my head.
Scary Godmother?
I think it is. I swear to God, it is Scary Godmother.
I'm pretty sure because I swear that's the one that was on every Halloween.
Yeah. And then it would go
And then if you go to Disney, it'd be like Halloween Town.
Yeah, I would go to Disney and watch classics. And then I would go Sci-Fi Channel and Comedy Central. And they would do more Texas Chainsaw.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember watching like on Halloween time.
Yeah, well, I mean, my relationship with this franchise, because I'd never seen the original until quite recently, actually.
Oh yeah.
But like, I knew how the ending happened, and he's swinging the chainsaw around. But basically, I watched the remake that came out like in the early 2000s, and I remember it terrified me as a kid, especially with because the beginning is this found footage of like these cops going around the crime scene. And scared me as a kid, so I thought it was real, because at the ending, the cops run into Leatherface and he kills the cops.
Yeah.
And, it was like, oh, based on a true story, because it was it was loosely based off a true killer.
Yeah, exactly.
So I remembered this, and because of this, when we first went to Texas when I was a kid, I was afraid to go to Texas.
Yeah.
Because I guess maybe I felt like it was like that. It was like that thing, like, oh, if you go to that house, like a killer's in that house. So it's like, if we go to Texas, we're gonna go by like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's house, like.
And he's gonna be outside waiting.
Yeah, it's like there's that chance that we're gonna run into those people. Like, Texas is big, and, my little kid mind probably thought, like, he's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so he's in Texas. If I go there, there's a chance I'm gonna run it. Yeah. But Texas is a big place, so it's like, who knows where specifically this one was.
Outside.
Is that near San Antonio?
Yeah, if you listen to the radio, I don't know exactly, but they talk about something like the whole.
Yeah, because we were visiting my grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the way my mom made us not to be afraid of it was saying that guy was killing it so many years ago, he'd be dead by now. Which I realize is probably a lie, because he'd probably be like 70 by now.
I was gonna say she's not wrong.
She's not wrong, but like let's like speed the clock back, like as a kid, like I'm like maybe 11, 12.
Oh, this would have been.
It's the remake. The remake is how I got introduced to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, like
he wouldn't even be old.
Yeah, it'd still be very much alive. But it worked as a kid,
Exactly.
Yeah, so we watched the original one. This was like my second time watching it. Quinn said it's probably his third.
Maybe.
Wrote down our notes. What'd you think of the film?
It was so weird to me. It's a classic, of course.
Yeah, because for the time it came out, it was very like revolutionary.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so weird to look at a film like realize like odd. It is rougher going back. This.
Yeah.
Very rough.
Well, I mean, all the characters, they don't really seem like they're acting at times. They seem like they're playing themselves.
Yeah, it's a part of that, and also like back then, like you acted with your face and your voice or your action. So a lot of the time they're just standing.
Yeah.
They just talk.
Well, I mean, I feel like
they're like eyebrows.
Out of all the characters, Franklin had the most personality.
Exactly.
I think he had the most lines out of anyone in that movie.
And a lot of it is him just repeating the same thing.
Well, I mean, I got here in my notes that Franklin is he's too nice and he thinks it's all about him.
Yeah.
Because, they pick up the hitchhiker. The hitchhiker's super weird, and it takes them a while until they kick him the hell out.
Mm-hmm. It takes him way too long.
It takes them way too long, because, it's like he grabs the knife from him, cuts himself, and it's like, okay, that's not too far. But taking a picture of us and then burning it in front of us, oh, that's too far.
Yeah.
Well, then he
Yeah.
does cut the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, after he doesn't accept it. Back then, it would have been
Really?
It would have been more. Because
Dang.
like gas.
I was just thinking that Franklin was just like, you think I made him mad? Did I say
Yeah,
something?
that's-
I'm like,
Yeah,
like
it's
Franklin, you didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
And then he's paranoid the whole time. Like, you think he's gonna come after us?
So if we're talking right in our notes, on the lines of that, I was saying that you say they play themselves. Yeah, watching that makes me realize like how much none of these characters each other.
Yeah.
And it's even brought up in the brushed aside. Sally. Franklin and Sally.
Were they siblings, or was the sibling was?
They're not siblings. They're not. I don't know if they're siblings.
Well, one of them was siblings because they were going because there's been grave robberies.
Yeah.
And they're going to see if their grandfather's
Was dug up.
grave was dug up. Which you said they don't like each other. I wonder how that conversation went. Like, hey guys, you want to jump in the van with me and take? Well, no, I think it was Franklin and the chick that got hooked. I think they're the siblings.
Well, okay, but that's the thing. Oh, Franklin and the
first chick, yeah,
Okay.
that gets hooked. I
Pam.
think they were the siblings,
Pam.
yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because Franklin asks Sally like, "You didn't want me to." That just comes out of like left field. It's like, okay, wait, tell us, Sally, why you didn't want Franklin to come, but she really doesn't give reasons.
But there were scenes before because we jumped straight into them going.
Yeah.
If it came out today, we'd probably get an establishing thing of who these characters are, them deciding
Their
to do this road
relationships
trip.
with each other. I was gonna say I didn't even realize that Franklin and Pam were siblings. I was like, I found it so weird that Franklin was Pam's last.
Well, they kind of left Franklin out because they all go upstairs and it's like,
definitely. And
not gonna help the guy in a wheelchair up there.
Yeah.
We're just gonna start exploring this abandoned house, which I guess they go to because they're running low on gas, and the gas station guy says that they're tapped out. So I guess they have some sort of shelter.
Yeah. Well, I guess that I was spend the night.
But why the fuck would you want to spend the night there?
80s fun. Well,
that thing was abandoned.
Well, yeah, it's abandoned house. But it wasn't supposed to be like that creepy. But as Franklin walking around, kind of like, oh shit, like bone artifacts hung.
Yeah, it's the hitchhikers probably like camped out there, maybe because it's near the graveyard site.
I mean,
because after he burns himself, I mean, he just kind of smacks the van with his hand, but they make it seem like he marked it.
Yeah, the mark of Zorro.
Yeah.
I mean, when we get
and then you see that mark on with the bones, so it's like it was something. I guess the hitchhiker was fast enough to do that as the van was leaving.
I don't think it's literally like one swipe this, one swipe. It's really all it is. But it's interesting with the characters are written, how they act. They're just horrible to each other.
They are horrible to each other.
Way conversations.
You mean when was it? Which one? When Jerry's joking about like the hitchhiker coming back for Franklin specifically. It's like, oh, I gave him your name, Franklin. He's coming for you.
He's got your zip code. He's gonna kill you. Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. Also, with Franklin talking about how they kill cows, and he's like, "Oh, you used to hit him with a sledgehammer, but got this air gun," and he's just like on it. He's just like, pshaw, pshaw. Like he thinks it's cool, and the other characters obviously don't.
I'm gonna take a quick intermission because your food's here, just so you can grab it. I did one. All right, we're back after that little intermission, and so we were talking about how horrible they are to each other.
They're horrible. Their conversations with each other are weird.
Did they
how
swim in a dam?
no, they
Because I swear they say something about a pool. Like, we want to go swimming. Where's the pool?
that's where they're going is they're walking on the trail in between sheds, right?
Yeah.
They don't walk on a fucking trail for one. They're just
Well,
like
they go like into a gorge. It's like, this must be it.
it's a ditch.
A ditch, and I'm like,
it's just dried up, essentially.
Oh. All right.
That's why they're like, well, fuck. Gary in that moment is making fun of Franklin, like, oh, that fat.
It was Kurt.
Kurt.
Wait, was it? Well, are they in the door? Are they in the ditch? It's Kirk.
Yeah, it's Kurt. Kirk's making fun of Franklin, saying that he never came down here.
Like, how did he get down here?
Yeah, like, there's no way he would. Essentially calling Franklin a liar. And it's like, geez, dude.
It's possibly, but then they come upon a house, and on top of the list of the stupid mistakes they make in this movie, you know, one, picking up a hitchhiker. And I love in that instance, I think it's Jerry, the driver, is like, I'm never picking up another hitchhiker again.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put in my notes, like, this is why we can't have nice things. Hitchhikers like this ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah, of course.
But then they find this house, and then you can kind of say they're kind of justified in this first couple kills because they just trespass into this house.
Mm-hmm.
They knock a couple times and then walk right in.
I had the same exact thought where it's like, first off, the house that you're hanging out in, abandoned.
Yeah.
The second house seems abandoned. The only thing that's giving away that it isn't is.
And you see the chimney.
I didn't even see.
Well, you see smoke being.
Oh, okay.
They see the smoke.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's just like, it's a wrecked down house and all that, and he's just like, oh, let me walk in. Like, he peers in even and kind of sees the whack. Still goes in.
Yeah. And, you know, walks into that red room, trips, and runs into Leatherface.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. And then the girl does the same thing. Knocks a couple times and walks in. And then we see, which I put in my notes when she walked in and walked into the, someone say it's the living room. She sees either snack garbage, like they were eating someone and then just threw the bone, or it's them making art. I don't know, I just put that because it's kind of like, you know what's in the living room? I can just imagine them like, they have a human skull in their face, they're just eating the face, and then like, oh, I'm gay, I'm done, and then just toss the skull and it never got thrown away.
Well, they make them into, they don't even eat fresh off.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. No, they have a little bone box. Crafts. That's all it is. Like, they just have a
I think it was
box.
the hitchhiker.
Yeah.
I think he just had the nerve. He just had the art tick, and he's like, I gotta go rob some graves because I need this specific bone for this piece I'm doing. I need it.
But you can also tell it's the hitchhiker stuff. Other face moves with struggle. Runs into it, smacks it out of the way, and all. Like, he doesn't put him there.
Oh, you mean after he kills the other guy?
Yeah.
And checking outside to see if there's someone else?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he panicking because like, oh my gosh, I just killed 3 people and my family's not here, what are they gonna say?
No.
Like, why do you think he panics after the 3rd guy?
That's the thing about the movie. It's flawed, because it's like, it's honestly just trying to tell you something. It doesn't do.
Well, there's not much very characterization. Like I said, Franklin, I think you get the most character from him. The other one is like, okay, guy and his girlfriend, they want to go to a pool. They go into this house, they trespass, and they die. And then, Jerry does the same thing. They knock on it a couple times, like, anyone there? Anyone there? Actually, this was exactly how I feel going into your house.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have such a big house, usually upstairs, so it's like, I don't want to just barge in.
Yeah.
Because I don't want your dad to think I'm a trespasser and just, like, CQC me or something.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, one of those things. Sometimes there's ways around.
Yeah, well, it's like, if I, like, it's like, there's, no, you don't have a doorbell, do you? Yeah, because it's because you're usually upstairs, so like if I knock, I don't think it's gonna be loud enough that you hear it from upstairs. It's like I always walk in, I'm like, anyone home? Hello? But no, I wouldn't do that at some random person's house, even if I needed gas.
Yeah.
The dude's like, oh, I'll sell him my guitar
Yeah.
for some cash. We'll get for the gas. We'll put the gas, and then he says, then we'll come back, and I'll give him some more money to get back the guitar. Now I'm kind of confused by that. So wait, so he needed gas. He's like, I'm going to trade. I'm going to give him some money and my guitar for gas.
He said they have to come back and on their way back, give him a couple more. I feel like at that point,
And this gas station seemed really close. Yeah. Because she runs back to it. It's like, how close is this gas station?
She loops back to the house. In her first bit of running.
Well, they were close to the house.
Huh?
They were close to the house.
Well, yeah, but she runs backwards from where Franklin and her run into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She looped around. She looped around.
Somehow loops around back to the house, then jumps out the second story.
She gets into the house. I actually put in my notes here. Leatherface wasn't given a key. Because when she shuts the door, he chainsaws into him like, you don't got a key.
Mm.
And then I put like, how close is this gas station? Because she runs back to it.
I wrote down gas station or jog away.
Yeah. It's like how far are these places like in relative to each other? So I imagine the pool had to be close if it was like, oh yeah, there was a pool there that we'd swim in, so a light jog, and then from the pool
5 minutes.
Maybe like a few blocks, like consider the blocks is Leatherface's house.
That's the problem with the movie. Very weird.
Yeah.
A lot of times with object, whether it be a person. Character.
So when she gets to the gas station and she's looking at the meat the guys got cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think human has a specific smell, or at this point she's just so paranoid and hearing that radio at the same time, like, oh my gosh, what if that's human being cooked right now? Because there's really no like clue that she gets that that's human, like, because it just looks like sausage. It's not like she sees like a hand or like.
I doubt it would. Eating. Also, he has a coworker.
Oh yeah, the guy that's scrubbing there.
That scene fucking irked.
Why?
So goddamn much. But I understood it because like he signals to his coworker, saying "I'll stop watching." But his like coworker is so trained that when he walks up to the customer, it's supposed to. So walks up for the first time. Coworker starts washing it, and he banes, walks away, and then he like grabs his bucket, starts to walk away, and he turns around, goes back to the car, starts talking to him again. So what does he do? He turns around and he starts washing the car.
I did not notice that.
Watch it again. They show it. They show him like grabbing the bucket and a couple steps, and then whenever he turns, talking to him, starts washing. Oh. It's so weird and it bugged me, but there's so many instances of stage in general. Oh. But yeah, he can't eat human out in the ring.
I mean, but he grounded it into sausage.
Yeah.
So,
But if it has a smell or anything,
so you think when you cook human would have a specific smell to it?
I don't even think.
Well, it was nighttime. I think he was. Well, he is a sadist. He was taking joy in watching her getting like terrified and stuff. I put here when they get into their little rumble. I'm like, uh-oh, she brought a knife to a broom fight.
Oh my god. You know, it just sometimes it hurts to watch a movie. And it hurts even more to watch a movie. Watching that irked me so much. One little slap to her head. It's like, whoa, knife gone.
It's like, yeah, like you're telling me you ain't gripping that thing? You had a broom. Yeah, now we get to the dinner scene. After we find out everything, we find out the hitchhikers, the grave robber, and the artist because the dad's angry at him and because he's like, it's hinted that the hitchhiker's been gone for a while.
It's also hinted at that he's done it before.
Yeah.
As well.
But they said it's been happening for a while now.
Well, yeah, but he says, I told you. That graveyard. Would you stay away from that? Like, that graveyard.
Yeah.
Definitely not the case.
Oh, and I just realized he's the one that propped the person up in the beginning at the grave. Probably. You know when it's showing the grave and you see that like corpse on the grave and it's like crossed?
Not realize that?
No, I'm just now realizing I'm like, oh.
That he was the guy going around digging.
Well, I realized that, but I didn't think of that scene. I'm like, oh, but that explains why that thing looked so weird.
Yeah.
Was placed so weird.
He's defiling multiple corpses.
Yeah.
That was definitely.
And it's what kicks off the movie because they're only there because they're gonna go check on their friend's grandpa's grave.
Yeah.
And it wasn't defiled. They said that there's no like, oh, he's still good.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point of checking?
I mean, it's respectful of the dead. If it's
fuck the dead, he's probably been dead for a while too, which is funny. It's like if they fucked with them.
So yeah, we get the dinner scene. And we find out the dad, the cook, he doesn't kill.
Mm-hmm.
The hitchhiker says that, oh, he doesn't kill, he's just the cook. But he enjoys watching. Mm-hmm. Which I put here that when he yells at Leatherface and the hitchhiker, his two sons, and Leatherface he's yelling at him about like letting the people, like, you didn't let them go, and it's like okay, but you freaking messed up the door.
Yeah, he's like looking for an excuse to yell at him because in that moment, like, proud,
yeah.
Shit, you didn't do anything wrong. Let me think of something you did wrong. Gaslights him.
He did. Or Franklin, they took his wheelchair too.
They took his wheelchair. I wrote down. Find it interesting.
Yeah. I didn't write that down because I guess I kind of knew that about the character.
Yeah.
I don't know like any like theories and stuff because I think they say he wears 3 different masks in this.
Well, yes, yeah. There's that, which I knew well that he. But it was also the fact that he puts on a different mask with me.
Yeah.
It's time for him to stuff.
And then he had like a clown mask like a mask with lots of makeup on it during the dinner.
That was the same one as his cooking one.
Because I swear he's like wearing he looks like a granny when he's got the apron.
I know it looked like a different.
But yeah, you find out that the guy that Sally first runs into when she runs upstairs, that you think you see an actual corpse, which is probably the grandmother, and then you see what you assume's a corpse, which is the old man. And then it turns out he's very much alive.
Which is I don't even want to say plot twist.
It shows it runs in the family that this is like a family thing.
Yeah,
Because it's like
it has
grandpa's been doing
generations
it,
to it.
dad's been doing it, now we're doing it.
It's also like kind of having,
Yeah.
because it's just like Daddy still craves it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wonder how they became cannibals. Wonder if that's ever explored in any of the
I feel like it's ease.
films. It's ease.
Yeah, like they could.
Like we
Get
enjoy
that thing.
killing, but like we gotta get rid of the body somehow, right?
That also goes with with the way it's a metaphor. Like every slaughterhouse.
I did not think of that.
Yeah, their methods. Leatherface. Oh, hooks.
The hammer.
They bleed. Sledgehammer. That's why they even talk about it.
Yes, that's why I like talking about these movies with you because you notice a lot more things than I do.
But it's so weird because during the dinner scene, when having her, she's con. But when we as an audience are zoomed in on her face and are seeing the light, having this out moment, there's squeal. I don't know if it was Leatherface.
That's true because the pig squeal is what leads the first guy into the house because he hears a pig.
Yeah, that's how we talk. That's how we communicate. And when you listen to it, it's I that's where that like that metaphor got hammered in. She's
Yeah. Try to get Grandpa to kill. He can't quite do it because he's old. He can't grip the hammer. And then Sally escapes, and this woman is not afraid to jump out a window because she does it twice. Like she just straight crashes because usually in horror films you see characters when they run upstairs they run into a room and they run to another room. She ran straight out that she's like I'm finding my way outside.
She said the first window wasn't too bad. It took her a second to recover. Second window, she was like, "I've got this."
Well, the second window's on the first floor. The first time she jumps out the top floor.
She learned her lesson. Learned to go for.
And then Leatherface chases her, and the MVP trucker comes to help her the second he sees Leatherface.
Not before that. Before that, he sees Hitchhiker stabbing a leaf, and he's just like, this bitch over.
Oh, he's the one that hits the hitchhiker?
Yeah, he just runs the cattle truck.
Oh.
There's first person to see cattle truck, who also is a fucking. So he is the MVP. Because he runs over a hitchhiker.
So you think he purposely did that?
Yeah, he purposely does it. Because he straight up he sees that happening, and the first thing he does after and help her get in. Now he wants to. Actually, what happens is he gets out. He starts walking. Second, he turns around and runs back in and tries to help her in. Then she gets out on the other side. Yo, that's a smart idea. Grabs a wrench.
Yeah.
Because he's smart. Fucking goes out on that side. Leatherface walks around and he pops Leatherface in the face with a fucking.
And that knocks him down. He chainsaws a bit of his leg on that part.
Yeah. And then after that, he's just like, run.
He just keeps running.
He Forrest Gumps it.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
And I started running. And he just goes. We don't see him for the rest of the film.
Or he doesn't even try to get in the next truck.
No, because
the other one, she jumps in the bed and he just looks at it and he just keeps running.
yeah. Well, it's like that dumb truck. Does a and I think he stalls out his truck. I think what does the stalls. It's not.
Oh.
But even then, I like how Leather kind of knows he's.
Well, yeah, because he's like throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, like, and Father's still.
Father's still alive. Leatherface is still alive. The grandpa's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Only one that died was the hitchhiker.
Yeah, but honestly, they're still fun. As long as they.
Yeah. Actually, have you seen any of the sequels?
Sequel. I'm not sure. So
Well, there's three, because there's the direct sequel to this one that came out like a couple years later, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And then, years pass, I think it was 2018, they were like, okay, you know what? We're gonna make a direct sequel to the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So 2 never happened. And I think 3 is like its own separate movie.
Yeah.
Even though it's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, it's its own, own thing.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
And then they did that, and then this year Netflix greenlit another one, and it's like, okay, you know what? First movie didn't happen. This is another direct sequel to the first movie.
It's not even in Texas.
Yeah, because I mean, no other series has done it. It's like Halloween has just done it in 2018, when it's like, okay, you know what? First movie didn't hit. The second movie never happened. Let's make this movie a direct follow-up to the first movie.
Yeah.
Like, they have separate timelines, but the first 2 movies are always concrete in those timelines.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, hey, nothing happened but the first movie. And that's what we're going to be reviewing next time, and we're going to spin the chart on which
we're gonna decide,
sequel.
I was going to say, we're going to decide what sequel. It's off of a let wheel spin.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh my god, do you want to read off something? Oh, well.
Oh, there's just
options,
3. There's... Yeah. So yeah, obviously there's just 3 that we're going to be watching, which are the direct... are supposed to be the direct follow-ups to the first movie. So there's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. There's the one that came out in, I believe, 2016. And then the one that came out this year in 2022.
I hope to God it's not sequel. I can imagine.
Oh, knock on wood.
Yes.
Alright.
Oh. Oh.
And the next one we're watching is the one that came after this, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Which I'm kind of disappointed with. I kind of wanted to see one that you haven't seen.
I mean, maybe purely off of the alone, I'll be able to if I'd seen this.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Because, do we even want to talk about that?
Talk about what?
Oh, then we'll save it for next. What my memory.
Well, my memory's vague on Texas too. I've seen 2016 a couple times, and I've seen the 2022 like 2 times.
Yeah.
And I just found it interesting just how many times they retcon this series and like another one.
Yeah. So pretty much keep everything in. Here.
Yeah, just keep it in mind.
Keep it in mind.
When we think of like how Leatherface is as a character, like does he seem like the same person?
God.
Because in 2020, in the one that came out this year, it's supposed to be modern time, so Leatherface is like pushing like 80.
Okay, I got you.
And then the other one, which is probably going to piss you off, is also supposed to be in modern time when 2016 came out, but there's no way it could be. Because the actress is supposed to be a baby during these events. So it's like, alright, so if we grab someone that was a baby during these events, it's the 80s.
Yeah.
How old would they be in 2016? You think would it be 20s? Okay, maybe that runs clear because I thought they'd be like late, like early 40s.
Well, I'm thinking like 86, 85. Like there's a lot of leeway. Saying like it's because it's like 16.
2016 minus when did this one come out?
So
Let's
The
do a quick
original-
search.
the original Massacre. Not the
1974.
Oh wow, not even.
So that'd be 42 years. So the person in this, the main character, is supposed to be in her 40s. But they make her like college age.
Oh. Okay. But also, does it take place?
I believe it does. I believe there's like smartphones and stuff, and it's like, okay, you know what? For her to exactly be like in her 20s, this would have had taken place like early 90s, right?
Yeah, early 90s if she. But we'll have to see.
We'll see.
When we get to.
We'll see you next time on the Tinkle podcast. Thanks for watching. Quentin, where can they find you? If you're still doing anything?
Well, I'm not doing anything at the moment. Actually, streaming. But for Pride Dental. I don't even use Twitter that much. No, you just.
Yeah.
But
I was actually listening to our old podcast when you were talking about not kind of liking playing games and people like just jumping into them. I don't think that's a big issue. Because there's some streamers on TikTok that, they were just like playing a game. I know, I'm like, oh, what part are they on? And I watched them play until they logged off.
yeah.
Like there was a dude just playing Alien, like middle of the game, and I'm just watching him play, and I'm like, his first time playing, he's like, oh, he doesn't know where to go. Like, but I know where to go during this part. It's like, you know what? It's not. Yeah, and I was thinking back to when you said that I'd have to play from the very beginning. Like, I think they can just hop on and see you playing a part of a game.
Yeah, that's doable. I
kind of want to stream me playing God of War because I'm having a fun time playing that one.
Stream God of War.
I kind of do, yeah. I don't know how I'd do it. I don't know how
I don't know how
I'd get a camera done so it records this big screen.
No. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to go to the dark side.
The dark side film, right?
Yeah, you are not allowed to do that. You would get it captured, which honestly would make it easy for you.
Yeah.
You would just get it captured.
Or I have to do some research because I don't know shit. So there's actually people on TikTok that where they do that, but with like movies and TV shows. Like there was someone, they were playing a monster during the month of October. It's
the old anime.
Yeah, it's like early 90s. Yeah. It's good anime. I haven't finished it, but yeah. Well, and that's the stream. Texas Chainsaw 2.